Hello, my pretties. Welcome to episode 280 of Shadows and Pretties. Now, as we can see here, we're about 20 episodes away from episode 300. So, with that, we're getting close to our milestone of Shadows and Pretties. Today, I'm going to be reviewing another Stephen King movie called 1408. Now, this movie stars John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson, and we're going to be reviewing this movie that came out in 2007. Now, keep in mind that this one has four endings to the film, which includes the ending that appears in the theatrical releases, which I will be talking about those near towards the end. So this one stars John Cusack, plays Michael or Mike Enslin, Samuel L. Jackson, who plays as Gerald Olin, and we do have some other actors that were in this movie. And this one was in production somewhat, what in 2000 well in November of 2003 and 4. Dimension Films opted to own the rights to the 1999 short story 1408 by Stephen King. So that's actually quite something. So, with that being said, and that being the case, this one honestly was a really great movie. I mean, I personally really liked it. I thought it was really nice and pretty good, actually. I mean, John Cusack as well as Samuel L. Jackson were in another movie called Cell, which I do plan to make a review on talking about that in another film. So, I guess with that being said, let me get started with 1408. So I'm going to be going ahead and explain what this is in case if you guys who have not seen, the movie in a long time would want a refresher, and for those who have not seen the movie yet or, have not seen it in a while. So basically this film is based on Stephen King's 1999 short story of the same name. So, anyways, I think we should go ahead and, talk about this movie. So, I'm going to say right now, if you do not want to hear any spoilers, I highly suggest you click off this video right now. And, anyways, I mean, I like John Cusack because I like a lot of his movies. I mean, he plays a lot of great movies in these films. I mean, don't, fun fact, he's actually the brother of Joan Cusack, the actress for Jessie in Toy Story, which, that is a story for another time. So, anyways, let's get on with my review of 1408. So, this is about Mike Enslin, who is a cynical and skeptical author of Nashi books debunking supernatural events in which he has no belief. While prompting his latest book in the Hermosa Beach in California, he receives an anonymous postcard depicting a dolphin, a Hotel Lexington Avenue in New York City, bearing the message, "Don't enter 1408." Viewing this challenge, Mike travels to Dolphin and requests room 1408. The hotel manager, Jolin, attempts to discourage him, and he explains to Mike that in the last 95 years, no one has lasted more than an hour inside of 1408. The last count is like around 56 deaths. Olin attempts to dissuade, even bribe Mike, but at Mike's insistence of the threat of legal action against the hotel preparations he reluctantly made, while Mike describes the room to be a boring appearance, absence of any supernatural behavior in its mini cassette recorder of the Banality of Evil, the clock radio suddenly starts playing the Carpenters' We've Only Just Begun, and that's when the digital display changes on the countdown starting from 60, which of course Mike begins to see ghosts in the room from past victims, along with flashbacks of his deceased daughter Katie and his terminally ill father. Mike then makes numerous attempts to leave the room, but all in vain as the temperature in the room starts to rapidly increase. Mike uses his laptop to contact his estranged wife Lily and asks for help. The heat activates a sprinkler system, short circuiting the laptop, which causes to work again when the temperature drops down to sub zero. The propaganda of Mike appears in the video chat window, urging Lily to come to the hotel room and herself giving Mike a sly wink. So the room starts to shake violently, which causes Mike to crash into a picture of a ship in a storm, to which the water floods the room. He finds himself relieving a surfing accident from before he entered the room. Recovered in the hospital, he reconciles with Lily and assumes his experience with 1408 was just a nightmare. Lily encourages him to write a book about it. When visiting the post office, he sends a manuscript to the publisher, and he recognized the members of the construction crew as Dolphin Hotel staff, who start destroying the walls, revealing the restore itself, and the radio clock resets to 60 minutes, which is also equals an hour. The female voice calling herself the hotel operator calls Mike, and Mike asks why he has not been killed yet, and she informs him that the guests will enjoy their free will and that he can relive the past over and over again to use their express checkout system. And Hangman's noose appears, but he refuses to give into that. And Mike improvises a Molotov cocktail and sets the room on fire, and then he lies down and laughs in victory, destroying the room. As the hotel is evacuated by Olin, his office praises Mike for his actions. However, there are four endings to this film, including the ending that appears in the theatrical releases, as well as the default ending to the DVD. Three other alternative endings were shot insensitive, and it was based on the director's belief that King's intention, his original short story, was to leave the conclusion of the ambitions. None of the four endings matches of the endings of King's original short story. So in the theatrical default ending of the theatrical release of its theatrical release on DVD, it was also used on Amazon Prime, Netflix UK, and other YouTube movies versions of the film. Mike survives and reconciles with Lily, although Lily is skeptical about his experience. That's when she finds a box of Mike's possessions that were rescued from 1408, and Mike takes the damaged mini cassette recorder from saying, "Sometimes you can't get rid of bad memories, you just have to live with them." Mike briefly tempers the recorder, making it work again. Suddenly they hear Katie's voice coming from it, confirming Mike's account. The alternative version of this ending has the same events, but Lily had not acknowledging hearing Katie's voice on the tape, and only Mike's reaction is shown. In the director's cut, now Mike so now Michael Halfstrom um, said that the ending of 1408 was reshot because the test audience felt that the original was a downer. So in the original discarded ending that Mike is dying in the fire, but happy to see the room destroyed. He spitefully laughs and the room screams in agony and everything burns and crashes on top of him. So, however, in Mike's funeral, Olin approaches Lily and Mike's publisher, Sam Farewell. He unsuccessfully attempts to give her a box of Mike's possessions, including the tape recorder. While Olin claims the room was successfully destroyed, that it would no longer hurt anyone else, he later listens to the recording of his car and becomes upset when he hears Katie's voice on the tape. He sees a little girl in the dress walking on the cemetery grass behind the car, calling out as if she was lost. He then sees Mike's burnt corpse in the back seat, and then he sees the same girl holding hands with her father as they walk away. Olin places the tape recorder back in the box and drives off. The final scene is that of a gutted room, where in anticipation of Mike's accesses the death of entity while smoking in a cigarette. He then hears his daughter calling for him, and he disappears and walks towards a door. A door is heard closing as the scene fades, indicating that in Mike's death was freed for all the souls. So the ending of this ending is on default in the ending on the Blu-ray release and the 2-disc collector's edition. Canadian networks Space, as well as the movie network and US network FX broadcast had this version of this film. The broadcast as Space theatrical ending was on July 23rd, 2012. The ending is also used in the UK and Australian DVDs, as well as the US iTunes and Netflix versions of the film. So, the other ending, which involves Mike dies in the fire, instead of the funeral scene from the director's cut, the sounds of the funeral are dubbed over shots of Los Angeles. Lily and Sam sort throughout Mike's effects, and Sam returns to New York in office and discovers a manuscript that Mike had wrote while he was in room 1408. And as Sam reads the story, the audio from Mike's experience was the room that was heard. And in the final scene, Mike's office door slams shut, and Mike's father's voice says, "As you are, I was, as I am, you will be." So that's pretty much wraps up 1408. I honestly could say this one was actually a pretty good Stephen King movie, even though this came out in 2007. I personally really thought it was a good movie. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good Stephen King film. I mean, there's other Stephen King films, but it's pretty much a haunted, room that, well, that John Cusack's character was in. While it was still a pretty good movie, I personally do like the acting. The acting was good, the special effects were flat out amazing, and I personally really liked the plot of the movie. I thought the plot was really good. And I mean, it's a really good movie, especially for something that came out in 2007. You may feel that this is a 2010 movie. Well, it's actually a 2007 movie. Honestly, I do recommend this movie, even if you're a Stephen King fan. You will not be disappointed at how well made this movie is. Now, I did see this movie a long time ago. It's a great film. Do I recommend it? I recommend this one for Stephen King films that honestly are pretty well made. I recommend this movie if you're a Stephen King fan. I mean, you will not be disappointed once you've seen this movie. It's a great film. It's definitely well made. I really like the acting. I love the effects on this. The effects of this is flat out awesome. I do like the special effects. I do like the scenery of it. And it reminds me of one of those haunted hotels that are honestly really haunting. I mean, I've seen, other movies that do something like this, but this one, honestly, was really good. And now, like I said, I have not watched this movie in a really long time. I think the last time I checked out this movie was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago when I recently rewatched it for the first time in a while, but I personally loved it. I recommend this movie to anybody who is a fan of Stephen King, and I recommend this movie to anybody who likes Stephen King. Now, in all due reality, I can't see anything that I did not like about this movie, but I definitely have to say it's definitely a good one, well made in detail. I personally liked it. So, do I recommend this movie to anybody who's a Stephen King fan? Yeah. I think anybody who's a Stephen King fan would really enjoy this movie. I personally liked it. It's really good and well made. And do I love it? Yeah. I personally loved it. It's really well made, it's detailed, flat out awesome. So, with that being the case and that being said, I don't think I have anything else to say about this movie. But if I do end up coming across anything I missed or something, then maybe I might talk about it in the next video or I might talk about it in the comments section. I don't know. But what do you guys personally think? Also, let me know what you guys think of this in the comments below because I personally would really like to hear what you have to think. So, like, what did you guys think of this story? Did you enjoy it? Of this movie? Do you like it? Did you not like it? Also, let me know what you guys think in the comments below because I personally would really like to hear from you. I personally would really like to hear from you and hear what you all like to think. So, anyways, I guess with that being said, and that being the case, I'm the Line Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you are new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, if you guys want to go follow me on Twitter, be sure to leave a follow on my Twitter account. If you also want to go follow me on DeviantArt, link to that will also be in the About page section, so you guys can go check it out. Also, if you guys are interested in subscribing to my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, link to that will also be in the About page section, so you guys can go check out that one and be sure to leave that one a follow if you haven't. So, yeah, like I said, if I'm missing something, let me know what it is in the comments below. I think I've covered everything up, but if I haven't or if I'm missing something, let me know what you guys think. So anyways, I am going to say I'm heading off right now. So if you're new here, I will be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, I'll be seeing you all next time.